What's up, SnEaKyNation? SnEaKy P here, back with all the news after week 13 in year number 3 of our San Francisco 49ers franchise, where the 49ers picked up a victory over the Minnesota Vikings to improve to 10-2 on the season. Next up is the 4-8 Chargers, but first let's take a look at some highlights. Rudolph down the right side of the field, then Hoyer over the middle to Rudolph again. That would set up the Vikings with a field goal. They would take the lead early on 3-0 over the 49ers here. The 49ers, though, would be quick to respond. Schobel scanning the field on the left side. Austin Seferian-Jenkins into Viking territory. Then on second down and 14, Todman with the catch. He fumbles the ball. The 49ers do end up recovering. That would set up a Joel Edison field goal, and we have a tie ball game 3-3 early on in this. Vikings back out onto the field. Hoyer going to dump it off to Diggs. Hoyer was playing for the injured Teddy Bridgewater here. The Vikings did get into field goal range. They were unable to convert. That would set the 49ers up with great field position here, and Austin Seferian-Jenkins breaking some tackles. 49ers couldn't get a touchdown. They do get another field goal and take a 6-3 lead over the Minnesota Vikings in this defensive battle taking place in the first half. 49ers back out onto the field. Shaquan Fryer with the reception. That would set up this Kirkland Marion touchdown, and the 49ers would go on top by 10, 13-3, but Wright and the Vikings looking to respond, moving down the field on the right side. Peterson, who had 6 catches on the day, that would set up another Viking field goal, 13-6 going into halftime here. 3rd and 6, 49ers starting off with the ball in the second half, and it's Dimitri Todman down the field, setting up the 3rd field goal of the day for Joel Edison as they make it a 10-point game once again, 16-6. 49ers would strike again, though. Kirkland Marion from 48 yards out, taking it to the house. That is a 49ers touchdown, and they start to run away with it, but the Vikings are not out of it just yet, trying to get back into the game. Hoyer play action, and then the one-handed grab by Diggs into 49er territory. Hoyer looking for another big play down the right side to Treadwell. He would go out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, I think, and then Wharton into the end zone. That is a touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings. Not done yet. 13-23 Vikings with the ball again, and it's Kyle Rudolph down the right side. Then on 1st down and 10, Hoyer looking to throw, going to connect with Diggs as they get into the 9-yard line there, I would say. On 4th and goal, they do settle for another field goal. Then on 3rd down and 2, Schobel fumbles the ball, and the Vikings have it back at the 22-yard line, under 2 minutes to go. But on 4th down and goal, Hoyer looking for the end zone. It's not going to happen, and the 49ers would get the victory 23-16 over the Vikings. Again, the 49ers 10-2 on the year. The Vikings fall to 6-6. Next up, the San Diego Chargers. This is a team that has been struggling this year. 2 years ago, they had the best record in the regular season. Last year, they went 8-7-1. This year, 4-8. This is a team that has been moving backwards for a little bit now, and they are in a difficult position. We have one press question by Kevin Tajari. With the emergence of Austin Schobel, is Kessler's job in jeopardy? This is a question I've already answered, but I keep seeing it asked again, so I guess I'll answer it again. No, Cody Kessler will be the starter this week. He has returned from injury. The offense played a lot better under Kessler. He did not turn the ball over as much. He actually, I believe, was getting more touchdowns as well. It was his job. He got injured, which was unfortunate, and Austin Schobel did a great job filling in, but right now we do feel like Cody Kessler gives us the best chance to win. And when we're sitting at 10-2 right now, we've got to take that into consideration. Let's go ahead and check out the scores from around the NFL. The Jags with a victory over the Eagles, 27-16. The Jags now 9-3 on the year. The Eagles back at 5-7 right now. And Bortles didn't even throw a touchdown in this one. Zach Ritchie, though, with 2 interceptions. Yeldon with 2 touchdowns on the ground. McKinnon had one there. Receiving the ball, Kadarius Folston, 7 catches, 122 yards for him. But again, 0 touchdowns through the air for the Jags. They did do a great job of moving the ball, though. Tolick would lead the way with 12 tackles, sacks. Patrick, Fox, and Graham making the plays there. Interceptions, Smith and Roby going to make the plays. And then fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. 0 fumbles recovered Roby would force a fumble. We have a tie, 17-17. The Redskins and the Saints going to split this one here, and the Saints are lucky to split this. 4 interceptions by the rookie Keaton there. The Redskins now 4-6-2 on the year. They did have another tie earlier in the season against the Cowboys. The Saints now at 5-6-1, but again, very lucky to split this game with the 4 interceptions by the rookie quarterback. Sacks, we are going to have 1 by Kruger, 1 by Rankins. Interceptions, Cravens, Norman, Butler, and Boston. And Norman, I swear, it seems like he is getting an interception every game, always making plays for this Redskins defense. He would also force a fumble and recover it there. 23-22, the Bucs with a victory over the Falcons. The Buccaneers now 6-6 on the season. The Falcons now at 3-9. Freeman, 7.4 yards a carry. He only carried the ball 11 times, so I don't know why he wasn't being used more often. Eubanks, 9 catches, 92 yards for him. And Julio Jones, really not a great game. Eubanks really starting to emerge as their #1 wide receiver right now. Alexander McDonald, Ayers Jr., and Colbert with the sacks. Vic Beasley Jr. with the interception for the Falcons defense. Fumbles forced, 1 fumble forced, it would not be recovered. 38-10, the Chiefs with a victory over the Raiders. The Chiefs now 8-4 on the season. The Raiders now at 5-7. Last year, it really looked like this was a team that was going to take over and be, a Super Bowl contender, and it just has not happened for them. I don't know why they are struggling so much, but they started off last year really well. In the second half, they kind of collapsed. I was thinking maybe the offseason would help them get their act together, but that just does not seem to be the case right now. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. Zachary Orr would force and recover one. 21-17, the Steelers with a big victory over the Broncos, and it was Philip Rollins, the rookie, leading the way. The Steelers now 7-5 on the year. The Broncos get their second loss of the season. They are now 10-2 on the year. So for Philip Rollins, a rookie, to lead the Steelers to a victory is huge right now. That's a big victory for such a young quarterback. Obviously, this is a team that still needs Roethlisberger. Rollins is not as good as Roethlisberger right now, but definitely showing potential early on in his rookie season right now. Fumbles, 1 fumble forced, it would not be recovered. 28-14, the Bengals with a victory over the Ravens. The Bengals now 7-5 on the year, 2 years removed from their Super Bowl victory. The Ravens now 1-11 on the season, and it's just another team that continues to go backwards right now. Howard Fenner really having an outstanding season for the Bengals. He would lead the way with 7 catches. You see Quentin Patton, the former 49er, with a touchdown in this one. Defensively, CJ Mosley, 12 tackles on the day, 4 sacks by Carlos Dunlap, a monster game from him. Perfect Sestiq Johnstone, the rookie out of Louisville, and Javaris Forbes, one of the top picks 2 years ago with the interceptions. 35-21, the Texans with a victory over the Colts. The Texans now 5-7, the Colts now 6-6. And once again, Andrew Luck is out with another injury. We have seen this happen nonstop. The Colts really looked like they were getting their momentum going in a positive direction. And with Luck going down with an injury, I believe we've seen 2 straight losses by the Colts, and things are just not looking good for them once again. 3.5 sacks by Clowney in this one. Merciless with 2. J.J. Watt, 1.5. Interceptions, 0 on the day. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. Nothing going on there either. 24-21, the Patriots with a big victory over the Bills. The Patriots now 7-5. The Bills are now 7-5. Neither quarterback really having an outstanding day in this one, but the Bills were a few games ahead of the Patriots not that long ago. All of a sudden, the Patriots have narrowed the gap, maybe even taken over if they have the tiebreaker on the Bills. I don't know if they've played already this season or not. But it's interesting. The problem is they still have the Dolphins to worry about in this division. And with Drew Brees going there, the Dolphins have been killing it. So Patriots might not win the division, but they are definitely still in play for a wild card spot right now. 42-35, the Seahawks with a victory over the Packers. The Seahawks now 7-5 on the year. The Packers now 5-7 after going 11-5 last season. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers right now, but it's not working out for the Packers. They've really taken a few steps backwards. Randall Cobb, an outstanding game in this one. Ty Montgomery had a very good game. Aaron Rodgers had a good game. But ultimately, the Packers defense just did not do enough to get the victory today. Interceptions, none on the day. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered, and we have nothing there. 2 fumbles forced, neither would be recovered. 38-22, the Cowboys with a victory over the Panthers. The Cowboys now at 4-7-1. Tony Romo is back from injury. The Panthers now at 6-6. So a missed opportunity for the Panthers to get a win against a Cowboy team that has been struggling. Zachary Otto had a touchdown in this one. Oh no, Gayton only 2 catches. We've seen him score a lot of touchdowns over the last few weeks. Did not make it happen today. Collins with 1.5 sacks. Crawford and Lawrence each getting 1 as well. Coleman going to have an interception on the day. Alford and Dennard each going to have interceptions as well. Fumbles in this one, and Dennard would force and recover 1. 41-10, the Cardinals with a blowout victory over the Chargers. The Cardinals now 5-7 on the year. The Chargers down at 4-8. They had the best record in the NFL 2 years ago, and last year they took a big step back, going 8-7-1. This year 4-8. This is the team we're getting ready to play. And a lot of their guys have just either gotten older, they've lost some guys in free agency, and the players they've been developing, you know, some of them have looked very, very good, but maybe they haven't been taking the next step like was expected of them after that 14-2 regular season 2 years ago. 1 fumble recovered, the rest would not be. 28-13, the Browns with a victory over the Jets. The Browns now 4-8 on the season. Another good game by Houston Church. The Jets now 0-12. They have 4 weeks to figure this out, or they might be one of the only teams with 0 wins during the regular season. And, you know, a lot of their players just kept getting older, and they didn't really draft well enough to replace them, at least not yet. Jets are definitely struggling right now. We're going to have to see if they can find a franchise quarterback in this year's offseason. Otherwise, they might look at another year of struggling. 24-14, the Lions with a victory over the Rams. The Lions now 8-4 on the year. The Rams now at 4-8, and Todd Gurley, I didn't mean Todd Gurley, I actually meant Jared Goff, really struggling in this one. It didn't look like Gurley played all that well either, but you know, this is a team that went 9-7 last year. Jared Goff was really looking to take the next step, and once again, it's another guy that's kind of regressed, if anything. Buggs had 3 sacks in this, the second-year player. Interceptions, Herndon with 2. That's another second-year player. Then Tony Jordan, a guy we were scouting a lot, had an interception in this. Ogletree and Anza would each recover a fumble. 21-12, the Dolphins with a victory over the Bears. The Dolphins now 10-2, so definitely the favorite to win that division. The Bears now 8-4 on the year, and Drew Brees might win back-to-back Super Bowls with 2 different teams. I imagine that's the first time that has happened for a starting quarterback. I could be wrong. I can't remember it ever having happened, though. But he won it with the Saints last year. The Dolphins, definitely one of the best teams in the NFL right now. 49ers are very lucky to be in the NFC because the other 2 teams with a 10-2 record, both in the AFC. And I'd venture to say both the Dolphins and Broncos are actually better than the 49ers right now. 31-10, the Titans with a victory over the Giants. The Titans now 7-5 on the year. The Giants are now 7-5 on the season as well. But again, we've talked about it. You know, the 49ers do have the best record in the NFC right now, but their wins don't look like the best team in the NFC, or at least not one of them. But they have made the right plays at the right time. And I don't know if that's luck or if that's just a clutchness factor with some of these guys, but they're getting the wins right now. We're still a very inexperienced team, and I am concerned coming up on the playoffs here. Aaron Rodgers, 28-38, 391 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in a loss. Vic Beasley Jr., 16 tackles and an interception. Carlos Dunlap, 5 tackles, 4 sacks, and then Brock Osweiler, 27-33, 267 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown for him. Phillip Rivers down to an 82 overall. Yates and Mettenberger backing him up. Melvin Gordon really not taking that next step in his career. Span at fullback. Keenan Allen, 92 overall. Donquell Dawson, a rookie selected in the first round. Great young player here. 75 overall, but they only have 2 other active wide receivers right now. Travis Benjamin out with an injury. And only having 4 active wide receivers is a bit interesting. Hunter Henry going to be at tight end. Not a great offensive line. They do have some young players in place here, but overall, a lot of question marks right now. And I don't know how great they're going to be at blocking for their young running back in Gordon. Bosa and Lugit here with defensive tackle Urschel, a second-year pro. Phil Taylor there as well. Junior Gillette at left outside linebacker, middle linebacker. Perryman and Manti Te'o, right outside linebacker. Atachu, if I'm saying these right, I apologize. Melvin Ingram is injured for this one as well. Verrett and Hayward are going to be the number 1 and 2 corners there. Free safety Raheem Moore. They also have Banjo. And then, of course, at strong safety, Robert Golden with irons, a second-year pro. I don't know why he is not starting. You know, their team really has taken a few steps back from that 14-2 year. Looking through it, you can just tell they're not quite as good. Their older players have been regressing, and their younger players have not been progressing, and that's really been an issue for this team. They are dealing with some significant injuries right now, but 4-8's not going to get it done. The 49ers are at home, and hopefully Cody Kessler can get a victory in his first game back from injury, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Later.